வாகை சூடவா.
My dear students, today in this session we shall see chemical kinetics. The chemical kinetics is one of the important unit as per the theory part and the NEET exam. Preferably if you see, two questions will be there in the NEET examination. The first we shall see how we can see the chemical kinetics and what it deals with. Chemical kinetics, the word kind says the movement. In general, the reaction can be classified, the feasibility of the reaction can be classified in two modes, thermodynamically feasible and kinetically feasible. On the basis of Gibbs free energy, we can predict the thermodynamic feasibility of the reaction. The chemical kinetics deals with the rate and mechanism of the reaction. Now we shall see the types of reactions. Few reactions are very fast and few reactions are moderate and few are very slow. The reactions which are very fast, which takes place in an ionic reactions, within a fraction of seconds the reaction will be completed. Few reactions, the slow reactions, which takes place days together, for example rusting of iron. The next part is moderate reaction, which lies in between very fast and very slow reaction. For example, it's an hydrolysis of ester and hydrolysis of sucrose. Next thing, how the reaction takes place, in how fast the reaction takes place. If you view the pictorial representation with respect to the time, the concentration of the reactant is keep on decreasing and the concentration of the product will be keep on increasing. The rate is nothing but the change in concentration of a reactant or a product with respect to time. The rate of the reactions have been classified into three different categories: initial rate, instantaneous rate, average rate. If you measure the rate at the initial stage, it's called as initial rate. Instantaneous rate in the sense means if you measure at a particular time t, it's called as instantaneous rate. If you measure with a time interval, it's called as average rate. If the time interval t is 0, then the instantaneous rate and the average rate both will be equal. Next, the rate. The rate is equal to change in concentration of the reactant and the change in concentration of the product. Why I wrote a negative sign there in the sense, the negative sign represents the reactant concentration is keep on decreasing and the product concentration is keep on increasing. For a general reaction, A gives B, rate is equal to minus of dA by dt, dB by dt. The first equation says that how much amount of A it's decreasing, that much amount of B will be keep on increasing. The next thing, if you move, A gives 2B, the rate is equal to minus of dA by dt, that is equal to 1 by 2 into dB by dt. Here what it says, 1 mole of A is dissociating, it gives 2 moles of B, then we cannot say disappearance and the appearance both are same here. So we are going to divide it by the stoichiometric equation. The next part we shall move towards set of a general equation. 2N2O5 gives 4NO2 plus O2. In this reaction, 2 moles of nitrogen pentoxide dissociates to give 4 moles of nitrogen dioxide and 1 mole of oxygen. If you divide it by the stoichiometric ratio, then all the rates are equal. What are the factors which are affecting the rate of the reaction? First one is nature of the reactant. If you view both the equations, 2NO plus O2 gives 2NO2 and 2CO plus O2 gives 2CO2. Both the equations seems to be same. If you view, the first one is very fast, the second one is slow. Why? In the sense, depending upon the amount of energy required to break the bond and the amount of energy released, on that basis the reactions are classified into fast and slow. The next one is concentration. The concentration is directly proportional to the rate of the reaction. Once if you increase the concentration of the reactant, the rate of the reaction will be keep on increasing. Next, instead of a gaseous in aqueous state, if you conduct the reaction in gaseous state, it is directly proportional to the pressure. If you view in the graph, in the initial state, it is moving in a steeply, gradually it is increasing. The reaction is at the beginning stage. If you move towards a little bit more on the sense means in middle stage and the final stage, if you give X amount of pressure also, the reaction will not be proceed further. The next one is temperature. Temperature is directly proportional to the rate of the reaction. If we increase a temperature by 10 degrees Celsius, the rate will be approximately doubled or tripled. If you view the picture, the first one at lower temperature and higher temperature, the rate will be doubled. The next thing is surface area of the reactant. For example, if you take a marble stone and a powdered marble, a marble stone, the surface area is small, the powdered substances, the surface area is large. Once the surface area is large, then the rate of the reaction will be more. Catalyst. The catalyst plays an immense role. If it is a positive catalyst, the rate will be increased. If it is a negative catalyst, the rate will be decreased. Intensity of the radiation. In general photochemical reaction, the intensity of the radiation is directly proportional to the rate of the reaction. Next, we shall move towards rate law. Rate law is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. Even though the product concentration is increasing, we have to consider only the initial concentration of the reactant. A moles of A and B moles of B gives product. According to the law of mass action, rate is directly proportional to the concentration of A to the power of A and B to the power of B. Then rate is equal to K into concentration of A to the power of A and B to the power of B. That K means the rate constant. Here, if you see, in experimentally, small a moles of A and small b moles of B does not determine the concentration of the reactant. Only alpha moles of A and beta moles of B determines the concentration of A. Hence, the rate law can be rate is equal to K into concentration of A to the power of alpha and concentration of B to the power of beta. Now, let us see the characteristics of rate law. It is directly proportional to the concentration of the reactant. It represents the experimentally observed rate reaction, which depends upon the slow step of the reaction. It cannot be deduced from the equation. For a given reaction, it can be found by experiments only. It may not bear the simple relationship for the stoichiometric equation. It may not depend upon the concentration of the species, which do not appear in the equation for the overall reaction. Here you should remember, while seeing the mechanism, the concentrations which comes in the overall reaction only determines the rate of the reaction. The unit of rate in aqueous state, mole, liter inverse, second inverse. If the gaseous state, atmosphere, second inverse. The characteristics of rate constant, it's a measure of rate of reaction. Greater the value of rate constant, faster is the reaction. The value of rate constant changes with temperature. It does not depend upon the concentration of the reactant. The unit, it depends upon the order of the reaction. In general, rate of zero order reaction is mole, liter inverse, second inverse. For a first order reaction, it is second inverse. For second order reaction, mole, liter inverse and second inverse. Molecularity of the reaction. The number of moles, atoms or radical which take part in a chemical reaction is called as molecularity of the reaction. If reactant A gives a product, the rate is equal to K into concentration of A. It's an unimolecular reaction. If 2A gives a product, it's a bimolecular reaction. If A plus B gives product, it's also a bimolecular reaction. Rate is equal to K into concentration of A and concentration of B. 2NO2 plus F2 gives 2NO2F. In this reaction takes place in a two-step process. In the first step, NO2 plus F2 gives NO2F plus F. It's a slow step. The next thing, in the second step, NO2 plus F gives NO2F. It's a fast step. As we have seen clearly, the rate depends upon the slow step. In the slow step, the rate is equal to rate constant into concentration of NO2 and concentration of F2. If the reaction takes place in a multi-step, the elementary step determines the molecularity and the rate determines by experimental data alone. Now let us see the characteristics of molecularity of a reaction. It is always a whole number. It does not depend upon the rate of a reaction. It does not depend upon external factors like temperature and pressure. Molecularity cannot be more than 3. In a multi-step reaction, molecularity is determined separately in each step. In case of a complex reaction, the reaction taking place in number of steps, The slowest step is called the rate determining step or the limiting step. The overall molecularity of a complex reaction is equal to the molecularity of the slow steps. There are types of rate law. Differential rate law shows how the rate of a reaction depends upon the concentration. The integral rate law shows how the concentration of the species in the reaction depend upon time. First we shall see zero order reaction. In a zero order reaction, the rate does not depend upon the initial concentration of the reactant. A gives product, the rate is equal to K into concentration of A0, the rate is equal to rate constant. Therefore, the K is equal to A0 minus concentration of A0 minus concentration of A by T. If you plot a graph, rate versus concentration for a zero order reaction, it is an independent of the initial concentration of the reactant. If you plot a graph for concentration versus rate, it gives a straight line with a negative slope. Next we shall move towards the first order reaction. For a first order reaction, rate is proportional to the concentration of one of the reactant. A gives product. Here the rate is equal to rate constant into concentration of A. The final derivations are given. K is equal to 2.303 by T into log of A by A minus 6 and second inverse. If you plot a graph rate versus concentration, it increases gradually. The second thing, log A versus time. If you plot a graph, we will get a straight line with a negative slope. The rate depends upon only one of the concentration of the reactant. For that I have given an example that second order reaction, the rate is proportional to the second power of the concentration of the reactant. A plus B gives product. Here the A rate is equal to K into concentration of A square. K is equal to 1 by T into X by A into A minus X. If you plot a graph, rate versus concentration square, it increases. It's a consolidated manner. Plots of rate versus concentration and plots from integrated rate law, I have given that. Students, you may go through. It will be very much helpful for solving the problems. The units of zero order, first order and the second order, and its slope also given that. We shall move to the next part. It's a half-life period. The time required for disintegration of half of the amount from the initial concentration of the reactant is called half-life period. For the half-life period of zero order, first order and second order, I have given a plot that if you see for the zero order reaction, if you draw a plot T of versus concentration, it increases. For a first order reaction, it is independent of the initial concentration of the reactant. Next one is pseudo order reaction. The reactions which are not truly first order, but under certain conditions, the reactions becomes that first order are called pseudo order reaction. One of the concentration of the reactant is more compared to the other one. The rate depends upon the lower concentration of the reactant. For example, if you see hydrolysis of an ester reacts with an water molecule, it gives acid plus alcohol. In this, rate is equal to rate constant into concentration of ester and water molecule we expect, but the concentration of water molecule is more after the reaction, also it is excess, hence the concentration of water molecule is negligible. Therefore, the rate is equal to K dash into concentration of ester. The K dash represents K dash equal to K into concentration of water molecule. The next thing is rate of radioactive decay. Generally, radioactive reactions undergoes first order kinetics, hence the K value is also unique or same that of the first order kinetics. K is equal to 2.303 by T into log of A by A minus X. Half-life period is 0.693 by K. One more thing we have to see, as per the radioactive reactions, average lifetime tau. Tau is equal to 1 by K. Therefore, T off by 0.693 is equal to 1.44 to T off. To calculate the average lifetime, we can take 1.44 into T off. Next important theory is collusion theory. Once the reactant has to convert into product, the reactant molecule should undergo collusion. If it undergoes collusion, means the two factors determines the collusion. The rate of a reaction depends upon the number of effective collusions, energy factor. Colliding molecules must have energy greater than that of the threshold energy. The next thing, even though it possesses sufficient energy, the orientation is most important. The colloidal molecules must have proper orientation, collision frequency and energy. If you view the picture, if the orientation is proper, then it leads to form a product. ineffective orientations does not form product. Now let us see the collision theory. The collision theory is based on kinetic theory of gases. A2 plus B2 gives 2AB. The rate is directly proportional to the number of molecules per liter per second. As per the collision rate is directly proportional to the concentration of A2 and concentration of B2. Collision rate is equal to Z into concentration of A2 and concentration of B2. Z is a constant. Here, once the molecules undergoes collision, all the collisions does not form products, only effective collisions forms product. Once the molecule possesses a certain amount of energy, that is activation energy, those molecules can undergo product. If the molecules does not gains the activation energy, it is intact, it does not form product. For example, if the collision takes place generally 10 to the power of 9 collisions per second, that means one collision is equal to 10 to the power of minus 9 seconds. All the collisions will not take place at 10 to the power of minus 9 seconds. Hence, it is impossible. Those molecules which possess greater than that of the activation energy and cross over the threshold energy, those molecules with the proper orientation alone forms collision. To explain this concern, if an activation energy 100 kilojoules at a 300 Kelvin, when it takes place, 4 into 10 to the power of minus 18 collision takes place. Among 10 to the power of 18 collisions, only 4 is effective. The rate P is equal to F into collision rate. The P is a steric factor. Rate P is equal to E to the power of minus Ea by RT into Z into concentration of A2 into B2. The rate law, as we know very well, that is equal to K into concentration of A2 and B2. K is equal to P in ZE minus of Ea by RT. Regarding this collision theory, we shall see in the pictorial representation. Once if you see the reactant or a product, all the components has some certain potential energy. If we supply or if the reactant molecules gains an energy, that is activation energy, and it attains the threshold energy, that is called an activated complex. This activation energy acts as a barrier. If it crosses that barrier and attains the threshold energy and forms an activated complex, then only it can form the products. Activation energy is equal to threshold energy minus average kinetic energy of the reacting molecules. At the same time, threshold energy is equal to initial potential energy of the reactant plus activation energy. Temperature dependence distribution of collision energy. Previously I have said that if we increase the temperature, the rate will be double. In the graph, if you see at T1, as per the Maxwell distribution curve, the area shaded in the blue and the temperature is increased at 10 degrees Celsius. The rate, if you see that orange in color, it is double the time. Once the reactant molecules undergoes collision, all the molecules does not form product, only those molecules which possess activation energy and those fraction of molecules. If you plot a graph, fraction of collisions versus collision energy, the peak indicates most probable kinetic energy. Once if it crosses across the activation energy, then it forms product. Once if you increase the temperature 10 degrees Celsius, the most probable kinetic energy, it decreases and the curve shifts towards the right side, then the area will be double the time increases. If you view the endothermic and exothermic reaction, we know very well in an exothermic reaction the delta H value is negative, and endothermic reaction the delta H value is positive. In the first graph, if you see the reactant and the threshold energy, the activation energy is less, and the product and the threshold energy, the activation energy will be more. In the next thing, in endothermic reaction, the reactant and the threshold energy in between the energy is more, and the activation energy in between the product and the threshold energy is less. Relation between rate constant and activation energy. Rate depends on rate constant, while the rate constant is related to the activation energy of temperature by Arrhenius equation. As we have seen previously, every increase in 10 Kelvin, the rate of the reaction increases twice the time. On the basis of Arrhenius equation, K is equal to Ae minus of Ea by RT, where K is a rate constant, A is a frequency factor, Ea is an activation energy, R is a gas constant, and T is a temperature in Kelvin. if the reaction takes place at two different temperatures, then the log K2 by K1 is equal to EA by 2.303 into R into T2 minus T1 by T1 into T2. If you plot a graph ln K versus 1 by T, we will get a straight line with a negative slope. Effect of catalyst. If a catalyst is added in a reaction, the activation energy decreases. At the same time, the path also differs. Here what we have to view in the sense, the activation energy decreases, at the same time there will be a difference in the energy. Delta H may be positive or delta H may be negative. The most important thing is there won't be change in the Gibbs free energy. As per the catalyst, if you add positive catalyst, the rate will be increased. If you add the negative catalyst, rate will be decreased. In this particular chemical kinetics, where we have to view, where we have to concentrate more in the sense, as the graphical representation of zero order, first order and second order, we have to concentrate more. And the next part, Arrhenius equation, we have to concentrate more. In the first part, rate law, rate constant and molecularity, we have to concentrate more. Students, so far we have seen the theory part of chemical kinetics. Now we shall discuss few problems in chemical kinetics. First question, for a reaction between A and B, the order with respect to A is 2 and the other with respect to B is 3. The concentration of both A and B are double. The rate will increase by a factor of. If you view the question, how we have to solve this problem, we have to write rate 1 is equal to concentration of A square and concentration of B to the power of cube. The second one, the rate 2 is equal to concentration of 2A square and concentration of 2B cube. While comparing both the equations, 2 by 1, then we will get 2 to the power of 2 and 2 to the power of 3. Overall, the rate is equal to 32 times rate 2 is equal to 32 times that of rate 1. Question number 2, in a zero order reaction, for every 10 degree rise of temperature, the rate is double. If the temperature is increased from 10 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius, the rate will become. For this question, we have to say for 10 degrees Celsius, the rate is double. Now, the temperature is increased from 10 to 100 degrees Celsius, 100 degree. So, 2 to the power of 100 minus 10 by 10, that is rate increases 2 to the power of 9 times, that is 512 times it is increasing. Hence, the answer is B, 512. Now, let us see the third question. Which one of the following statements for the order of the reaction is incorrect? Option A, the order can be determined only experimentally. The order is not influenced by the stoichiometric coefficient of the reactant. Order of the reaction is the sum of the concentration terms of a reactant to express in the rate of reaction. Option D, order of a reaction is always a whole number. In the theory part itself, we have seen the order of the reaction may be 0, fractional or integer. So, here they have asked an incorrect statement, hence the answer is D. The order of the reaction is always a whole number, is an incorrect statement. While go through these questions, you should be more conscious, either they have asked correct or incorrect. Question number 4, the half-life of a substances in a certain enzyme catalysis reaction is 138 seconds. The time required for the concentration of a substances to fall from 1.28 milligram liter inverse to 0.04 milligram liter inverse. In this reaction, they have given the half-life, T half is given. What we have to do? We have to see the concentration is decreased from 1.28 to 0.4. Hence, it's an first order reaction. 1.28 to 0.64 is in first T half, 0.64 to 0.32 second T half, 0.3 to 0.16 third T half, 0.16 to 0.08 fourth, and 0.08 to 0.04 it's an fifth T half. After 5 T half, 0.04 milligram will be remain. Hence, the time required is 5 into T half, that is 5 into 138 is 690 seconds. Hence the option C, 690 seconds is an correct answer. Now let's move to the next question. Fifth question, the rate of reaction 2NO plus Cl2 gives 2NOCl. So given by the rate equation, rate is equal to K into concentration of NO2, concentration of NO square and concentration of Cl2. The value of rate constant can be increased by, you should remember the theory part what we have seen, the rate constant depends upon the temperature, it does not depend upon the concentration of the reactant. Hence the option A is correct. By increasing the temperature, the rate constant varies. The remaining two options, they are given on the basis of concentration of the reactant. Regarding rate constant, it depends upon the increasing of temperature. The option A, increasing the temperature, is the correct answer. The next one, say for sixth question, the rate of reaction between two reactants A and B decreases by a factor of 4. If the concentration of a reactant B is double, the order of the reaction with respect to the reactant B. Regarding this reaction, you have to make a note that for a first reaction, the concentration of A is 1 and concentration of B is 1, the rate is also 1. The next one, the concentration of A is 1, but the concentration of B is double, so it is 2B, then rate is decreased by 1 by 4 times. So if you divide the equation 1 by 2, rate 1 by rate 2, then you will get 4 is equal to 1 by 2 to the power of y. Clearly if you write, then k to the a to the power of x and k a to the power of x, both the components will be cancelled, then 4 is equal to 1 by 2 to the power of y, hence the order is minus 2. We have seen in the theory part itself, the order of the reaction may be 0 or fractional or integer. Beyond that, it can have positive and negative value also. In this question, the order of is minus 2. Answer is B, minus 2. Next question, for a first order reaction, A gives B, the reaction at a rate constant 0.01 m is found to be 2 into 10 to the power of minus 5 mole liter inverse second inverse, the half-life period of the reaction. We have to calculate two components. First, rate constant K is equal to rate by concentration, hence 2 into 10 to the power of minus 5 divided by 0.01, that is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3. After calculating the rate constant, now we can calculate the half-life period. T of is equal to 0.693 by K, hence 0.693 divided by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3, that is equal to 347 seconds. Option D, 347 seconds is the correct answer for that problem. The next problem, 2A gives B plus C. It will be a zero order reaction. For this, the given option A, the rate constant of a reaction is proportional to the square of the concentration of A. The rate of the reaction remains same at any concentration A. The rate remains unchanged at any concentration of B and C. The rate of reaction doubles if the concentration of B is increased to double. In this, the question itself, they are given zero order reaction. For a zero order reaction, rate is equal to K into 0, therefore rate is equal to rate constant. So the rate does not depend upon the initial concentration of the reactant. So the option B, the rate of reaction remains same at any concentration of A, is the correct answer. Next question, the activation energy of a simple chemical reaction A reversible equation B is EA in forward direction. The activation energy for a reverse reaction is a negative of EA, is always less than EA, can be less than or more than EA, is always double EA. In the above statement, the catalyst determines, so we cannot predict that either it is going to be a negative or either it is going to be positive. So for this question can be less than or more than EA. Option C is the correct answer. The next question, for the reaction N2O5 gives 4 NO2 plus O2, the rate of a reaction are 1.02 in 10 to the power of minus 4 and 3.4 in 10 to the power of minus 5 second inverse respectively. The concentration of N2O5 at the time will be, we have to calculate the concentration, rate is equal to K into concentration of the reactant. In this problem we have to calculate the concentration of the reactant, therefore concentration of N2O5 is equal to rate by rate constant 1.02 in 10 to the power of minus 4 by 3.4 in 10 to the power of minus 5, that is equal to 3, hence the option B is correct. Next question, how enzyme increases the rate of a reaction? By option A, by lowering activation energy, by increasing an activation energy, option B, option C, by changing an equilibrium constant, option D, by forming enzyme substrate complex. Enzymes are a biochemical catalyst. Generally it increases the rate by lowering the activation energy, hence option A, by lowering the activation energy is the correct answer. Next question, activation energy of a chemical reaction can be determined by option A, evaluating the rate constant of two different temperatures, option B, evaluating the velocity of reactions at two different temperatures, option C, evaluating the rate constant at a standard temperature, option D, changing concentration of reactant. As we know very well, on the basis of Arrhenius equation, once if you want to calculate the rate constant, can be calculated by two different temperatures, that is log K2 by K1 is equal to EA by 2.303 into R into T2 minus T1 by T1 into T2. On the basis of activation energy, the rate constant can be calculated by two different temperatures, hence the option A, evaluating the rate constant at two different temperatures is the correct answer. The order of the reaction will be equal to K into A to the power of 3 by 2, then B to the power of minus 1 by 2. The overall order is the sum of the powers. Here with respect to the A, the order is 3 by 2, and with respect to the B, it is minus 1 by 2. The overall order is 1. Next question, the rate of a gaseous reaction is independent of pressure. The order of the reaction is, in a gaseous reaction, the rate is directly proportional to the pressure of the reactant, hence it is independent, so it is a zero order reaction. The rate is equal to K, so it is a zero order reaction. Option A is the correct answer. Next question, the average rate and instantaneous rate of a reaction are equal. Option A, at the start, at the end, in the middle. Option D, when the two rate have time intervals equal to 0. In the theory part itself we have seen average rate and instantaneous rate. Instantaneous rate, we are going to measure the particular temperature, so particular time t. Average rate at a time interval, if t is equal to 0, both average rate and instantaneous rate will be equal, hence option D, when two rate have time intervals equal to 0 is the correct answer. Next question, the rate of reaction depends upon option A, volume, option B, force, option C, pressure, option D, concentration of the reactant. In general, the rate depends upon the initial concentration of the reactant, so the concentration of the reactant is the correct answer, option D. Next question, for the following homogeneous reaction, A plus B gives C, the unit of rate constant is. In the question itself, they have given a homogeneous reaction, they did not give any stoichiometric values, so the given reaction, if you write the rate is equal to concentration of A to the power of 1 and concentration of B to the power of 1, hence it is a second order reaction. As we know very well, for the unit of second order reaction, second inverse, mole inverse, liter. So option B is the correct answer. Next question, velocity constant of a reaction is affected by option A, change in concentration of the reactant, B, change of temperature, C, change in the concentration of the product, D, none of the above. Velocity constant can also be called as rate constant. The rate constant depends on temperature, hence the option B is the correct answer. Next question, for a reaction H2 plus Br2 gives 2 HBr, the experimental data suggests rate is equal to K into concentration of H2 and concentration of Br2 to the power of 1 by 2. The molecularity and the order of the reaction are, if you view the equation, we can calculate the molecularity of the reaction is 2, it depends upon the H2 and Br2. The order of the reaction is an experimental data, hence it cannot be calculated directly, but they are given with respect to the concentration of H2 it is 1, with respect to the concentration of Br2 it is half, so the order of the reaction is 1 plus 1 by 2, so it is 3 by 2. Overall molecularity is 2, order of the reaction is 3 by 2. Next question, a reaction having equal energies of activation for forward and the reverse reaction. Option A, delta G is equal to 0, delta H is equal to 0. Option C, delta H equal to delta G equal to delta S equal to 0. Option D, delta S equal to 0. Hence, the delta H is equal to activation energy of forward reaction minus activation energy of reverse reaction. In the question they are given reverse, hence delta H is equal to EAF minus EAR is equal to 0. So, delta H is equal to 0. Option B, delta H is equal to 0 is the correct answer. Next question, if the activation energy of a forward reaction is 150 kilojoules mole inverse and that of reverse reaction is 260 kilojoules of mole inverse, what is the enthalpy change for the reaction? Delta H is equal to activation energy of forward reaction minus activation energy of reverse reaction, that is equal to 150 minus 260 is equal to 110 kilojoules mole inverse. If you view the options, option B minus of 110 kilojoules mole inverse is the correct answer. The reaction for almost doubling the rate of a reaction on increasing the temperature of the reaction system by 10 degrees Celsius. Option A, the value of threshold energy increases. Option B, collision frequency increases. Option C, the fraction of molecules possess less threshold energy. Option D, activation energy decreases. As we have seen clearly in the theoretical part, once if you increase the temperature, only fraction of molecules gains the activation energy. Those molecules, when it comes across the threshold energy, it forms the product. Once the collision frequency increases, then the activation energy will be increased more than that of the threshold energy. So, once the collision frequency increases, the rate will be increased or it will be doubled. Hence, the correct option B, collision frequency increases. Next question, the addition of a catalyst during a chemical reaction alters which of the following quantities? First one, enthalpy, option A. Option B, activation energy. Option C, entropy. Option D, internal energy. We have seen the activation energy alters the rate of the reaction, because once the activation energy decreases, the rate will be increased. Activation energy increases, then the reaction will be slow reaction. If you see, the catalyst in general affects the activation energy. So, option B, activation energy is the correct answer. Next question, collision theory is applicable to option A, first order reaction. Option B, zero order reaction. Option C, bimolecular reaction. Option D, intramolecular reaction. If we go through the options for first order, it depends upon the concentration of any one of the reactant, so it won't be effective. If we move towards the of zero order reaction, it is independent of the initial concentration of the reaction. If we move towards the of bimolecular reaction, it is more effective. If we move towards the of option D for intramolecular within the compound, it won't be more effective. Hence the option C for a bimolecular reaction, the collision theory is more applicable. Hence for option B, bimolecular reaction is the correct answer. Next question, when the initial concentration of the reactant is doubled in a reaction, its half-life period is not affected, then the order of the reaction is first order, because T of is equal to 0.693 by K. For a first order reaction, it is independent of initial concentration of the reactant. Hence the option D, first order, is the correct answer. Next question, a first order reaction has a specific reaction rate of 10 to the power of minus 2 second inverse. How much time will it take for 20 gram of the reactant to reduce 5 gram? As per the reaction, 20 gram has to reduce 5 gram. 20 to 10 is a first half life, then 10 to 5 is a second half life. First we have to calculate the half life. T of is equal to 0.693 by K. The rate constant they are given in the problem, 0.693 by 10 to the power of minus 2. Once if you have been applying it, the rate constant is equal to K is equal to 69.3. Just now we are saying 2 half-life period. After 2 half-life period, 5 gram will be remaining. Hence 2 into T of 2 into 69.3 is equal to 138.6 seconds. Hence the option A is the correct answer. Next question, the activation energy of a reaction can be determined from the slope of which of the following graph? We should remember the theoretical part. On the basis of Arrhenius equation, we have drawn a graph ln K versus 1 by T or log K versus 1 by T. We will get a straight line with a negative slope. The option A they are given is ln K versus 1 by T. Option B, 1 by T ln K versus 1 by T. Option C, ln K versus T. Option D, ln K versus T. Hence the ln K versus 1 by T is the correct answer. Next question, during decomposition of activated complex, energy is always released, energy is always absorbed. The next one, energy does not change. The fourth one, the reactant may be found. For this decomposition of an activated complex, in general, the reactant forms an activated complex. The activated complex gains more energy and dissociates, to form a product. Once it forms an activated complex, it also forms the reactant. So once if we compare all those components, the energy is always released. First one is, then once we move towards the next part, the reactants may be formed. Once the reactant forms, the reactant gains energy and it forms activated complex. The activated complex, depending upon the dissociation, it may form reactant and product. So the option B, that is both energy is always released and the reactants may be formed. Option B is the correct answer. Next question, which of the following statement is incorrect? Option A, energy is always released when an activated complex decomposes to form product. Option B, peak of the energy distribution curve responds to most probable potential energy. Option C, peak of the energy distribution curve responds to the most probable kinetic energy. Then option D, when the temperature is raised, maximum of energy distribution curve moves to higher energy value and broadens out. We have to go through the question again. In the question they have asked incorrect statement. So option B, the peak of the energy distribution curve responds to the most probable kinetic energy is an incorrect statement. The remaining statements are correct. Actually, it should be an kinetic energy. Hence, the option B is the correct answer. Next question, catalyst. A catalyst, option A, increases the rate of the reaction by decreasing the delta G of a reaction. B, increases the rate of a reaction by increasing delta G of a reaction. C, increases the rate of the reaction by decreasing the activation energy of forward reaction. D, increases the rate of a reaction by providing an alternate pathway via intermediate with low activation energy. Regarding this, I have shown a pictorial representation in the theoretical part. Once the catalyst is there, in the sense it generally decreases the activation energy and the reaction takes place in an alternate pathway. At the same time, there won't be any change in the activation, so there won't be any change in the Gibbs free energy. All those three components you should remember. Hence, option D increases the rate of the reaction by providing an alternate pathway via an intermediate and lowering the activation energy, and that particular place the delta G will also be 0. Next question, consider an endothermic reaction. X gives Y with the activation energies EA, B and EAF for the forward reaction, backward and the forward reactions respectively. Hence, it is an endothermic reaction. Delta H is equal to activation energy of forward reaction minus activation energy of reactant reverse reaction. For an endothermic reaction, delta H is positive. Hence, activation energy of backward reaction will be less than that of activation energy of forward reaction. Option D is the correct answer. Next question, for the reaction N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3, if d NH3 by dt is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 mole liter inverse second inverse, the value of minus of d of H2 by dt would be. If the question is asked like this, first of all you have to write the rate equation. The rate is equal to minus of d of N2 by dt is equal to minus of 1 by 3 the d of H2 by dt, that is equal to 1 by 2 into d of NH3 by dt. They have given d of NH3 by dt is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3. We have to calculate minus of d of H2 by dt, that is equal to 3 by 2 of d of NH3 by dt. Hence, d of H2 by dt is equal to 3 by 2 into 2 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So, the overall equation d by H2 by dt is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of minus 4 mole liter inverse second inverse. Once the question is asked like this, first of all we have to write the overall rate of the reaction, then what are the components they have been given and what they have asked, you have to compare, then we have to derive the answer. On that basis, if you derive the answer D, 3 into 10 to the power of minus 4 mole liter inverse second inverse is the correct answer. Next, we shall move to the next question. In this reaction, BrO3 minus plus 5 Br minus plus 6 H plus gives 3 Br2 plus 3 H2O. The rate of appearance of bromine is related to the rate of disappearance of bromine. For this reaction, we have to write the rate of the reaction. First, rate is equal to, we have to compare both the components, appearance of bromine and disappearance of bromine ion. Rate is equal to 1 by 3 into d of bromine, concentration of bromine Br2 by dt is equal to minus of 1 by 5 into d of concentration of Br minus by dt. Hence, we have to calculate the appearance of bromine. So, d of concentration of Br2 by dt is equal to minus of 3 by 5 into d of Br minus 5 by dt. Option D is the correct answer. Next question, the reaction H2 plus 2Cl gives 2HCl plus I2. This reaction is in first order with respect to H2 and ICl. following mechanisms were proposed. Mechanism of A, H2 plus 2 ICl gives 2 HCl plus I2. Mechanism B, H2 plus ICl gives HCl plus I2. This is a slow process. Next, Hi plus ICl gives HCl plus I2 is a fast. Which of the above mechanism can be consistent with given information about the reaction? The first one, option A and B both, option B neither A nor B, option C A only, option D B only. As we know very well, the order of the reaction can be predicted only by slow step, hence the mechanism B given, the reaction given in the mechanism B is in slow step, so option B is the correct answer. Next question, the experimental data for the reaction 2A plus B2 gives 2AB. The experimental data are, for first one, the concentration of A is 0.5, concentration of B is 0.5, the rate is 1.6 in 10 to the power of minus 4. The second experiment, concentration of A is 0.5 and concentration of B is 1 and the rate is 3.2 in 10 to the power of minus 4. For experiment 3, the concentration of A is 1 and concentration of B is 1, then rate is 3.2 in 10 to the power of minus 4. Now we have to calculate the order of the reaction. For this we have to write in an equation type. First we shall compare the second and third one. For example, 0.5 moles of A to the power of x by 1 moles of A to the power of x and 1.5 mole of A to the power of x and 1 mole of B to the power of y is equal to rate 3.2 in 10 to the power of minus 4 and 1.0 moles of A and 1.0 moles of B into 3 in 10 to the power of minus 4. While comparing the equations 3 and 2, we will get the concentration 2 is equal to 2 to the power of y, then the concentration of A, it does not, the power of concentration of A is 0, so it does not comes in the rate of the reaction. Once we have been comparing the concentration of equation 2 and 1, then we will get 2 to the power of y is equal to 2 with respect to B. So the overall reaction for rate is equal to K into B2. It depends only on the concentration of B alone. It does not depend upon the concentration of A, because the order of the reaction with respect to the concentration of A is 0. So the answer C, K, concentration of B2. Next we shall move to the next question. Plot showing the variation of rate constant K with temperature T are given below. The plot that follows Arrhenius equation. If you view the options A, B, C and D, you know very well that as per the Arrhenius equation, K is equal to AE minus of A by RT. The rate constant increases exponentially with the K. So the option A is the correct answer. So far we have seen few questions in chemical kinetics. If you go through the theory part elaborately, then it is very easy to work out the problems. Once again I would like to say, you have to concentrate more in first order reaction, zero order reaction and its graphical representation. Beyond that, the characteristics of rate constant and molecularity. While solving the order of the reaction, you should be more conscious, write down the data and compare, and we can get the answer clearly. Regarding rate and rate constant, the characteristics plays a vital role. At last, the activation energy, where it varies with temperature, concentration and catalyst, how it varies. If you go through, it will be very much helpful for you. It will be very much helpful for you for the forthcoming preparation of NEET examination. Thank you for all. Good luck.
இந்நிகழ்ச்சியை பற்றிய தங்களின் மேலான கருத்துக்களை கீழ்க்கண்ட முகவரிக்கு கடிதம் மூலமாகவோ மின்னஞ்சல் மூலமாகவோ குறுஞ்செய்தி மூலமாகவோ தெரியப்படுத்தலாம். அனுப்ப வேண்டிய முகவரி: சிறப்பு அலுவலர், கல்வி தொலைக்காட்சி, 8ஆம் தளம், அண்ணா நூற்றாண்டு நூலகம், காந்தி மண்டப சாலை, கோட்டூர்புரம், சென்னை 6,85,000. தொலைபேசி எண் 7824015000.